Hi, this is Mike Brown, owner of Death Wish Coffee Company. Welcome to Fueled by Deathcast.
I love Jeff, but sweet and hot. Whoop, Mr. Motorama coffee spot.
Death Wish Coffee presents Fueled by Deathcast, the world's strongest podcast. With your hosts, the incredible Jeff and the amazing D-Man.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting edition of Fueled by Deathcast, the show. That's right. This is episode 49 for those of you following at home.
We're getting really close to that 1 year mark.
That 1 year mark. That's a very, very exciting. As always, to start the show, I am the incredible Jeff.
And I am the amazing D-Man.
And together we are Fueled by Deathcast. You can find us on social media. I am at Jeff Wish Coffee.
And I am at Death Wish Dustin.
Super easy. Hit us up. Let us know what you think of the show, what you think of the company, how your day is. You know, little stuff.
Don't tell me about your day.
D-Man doesn't want to know how your day is.
I don't care
I'll
about,
listen.
I don't care about your
I'll
day.
listen to you. I will. As always, though, we got to start the show by thanking our good friend Brock Powell.
BrockVox.com.
That's it. Brock is the voice actor behind this show and countless other projects out there, including The Kool-Aid Man, Star Wars toys, rides at Universal. It's incredible, and we just love Brock.
And as always, don't forget to share this episode, and you will win. You will be entered to win this mug here.
He got it.
It's a sentence that I'm trying to say.
All you got to do, share right now this feed, and then share in the comments. We're going to pick one of you guys who commented to win this mug.
You can't get this mug anymore.
It's
This
gone.
Is it's gone.
What's the number on it?
This is one of my favorite mugs. I love the whole Medusa.
It was our
looking
St.
thing.
Patty's Day mug this year.
All right, we got a high number. We got 4339 out of 5,000.
So there you go.
But this will be a little bit special because
Kiss for good luck.
it has a little bit of my DNA on it.
And we will sign the bottom like always, and it'll be a super collectible thing for you guys. It's that easy. Share this feed, comment, share, and feel free to do that constantly throughout the entire show.
Just do it like 50 times.
Yeah.
But I mean, you'll only have one chance, but we'll appreciate it.
Right, exactly. This entire show is put out by technology made by the incredible company Blackmagic Design. Blackmagic Design pretty much makes this show look and sound as cool as it does, and makes D-Man and myself look like we know what we're doing. And I think we look like we know what we're doing.
I don't know, man.
We're doing our best. We're doing our best on that one.
We're hoping we look like we know what we're doing.
But as always, we want to thank Blackmagic Design for all their awesome technology that keeps us going over here.
Secret code unlocked. Discount of death.
Now, of course, this wouldn't be a Fueled by Deathcast unless we had our special discount code.
That's true.
So this week, make sure you type in the discount code BEASTS, BEASTS, and that will get you 15% off of all the coffee on our website. So 50 count K-Cups, 10 count, 1
Whole
pound
bean.
bag, 5 pound ground, whole bean.
Yep, all of it.
Whatever you want, 15% off. Just type in BEASTS. Jeff, tell them why it's BEASTS.
That is BEASTS, and that is because our special guest this week is a toy sculptor, a incredible sculptor, Paul Harding, who also is an artist, a graphic artist, and now he is the driving force behind a brand new graphic novel called Beasts of the Black Hand.
Which is really awesome. We'll be talking a lot more about this later, but man, tune in. I'm very stoked about the Beasts of the Black Hand. It's
Me
a
too.
very cool concept. But until then, make sure to type in BEASTS in your discount code area to get 15% off of coffee.
Coffee.
Science time.
Science!
All right, so this week on Science, I'm very excited about this, actually, because, full disclosure, I've gotten to play a little bit of a video game lately that I've been really, really enjoying. It's the brand new Assassin's Creed Origins game that takes place in Egypt, and our Science segment is actually going to take us to Egypt as well. If you haven't heard, this has been all over the news, so it's not something that, like, you know, it was hard to find, but I thought it was really, really interesting to talk about. There has been a mysterious void discovered in Egypt's Great Pyramid. And that is incredible when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, we've been looking at this thing forever, and we keep on discovering more new things about these crazy buildings that we call pyramids.
Yeah. So if you don't know, obviously the pyramids are one of the wonders of the ancient world, and the Great Pyramid is the largest one out of the string of 3 that reside in Giza in Egypt. And it has been a mystery forever, like you said, D-Man. We have just, as of recent times, really started to uncover some of the mysteries that this pyramid holds, but we still don't even know the real way they were even created or their purpose. We believe that they were for tombs for pharaohs, just like we found in other areas of Egypt, but that doesn't necessarily ring true with a lot of the stuff that we find at the Great Pyramid.
It's so crazy that our technologically advanced society cannot figure out what these people did, the tens of thousands of years, forever ago. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We just can't figure it out, but we just keep on discovering more and more things about this.
So the spaces that have been found, the dimensions of these, they resemble that of the pyramid's Grand Gallery. Now, that Grand Gallery is 153 feet long, and it's 26 feet tall. It's a big corridor that leads up to the burial chamber of the pharaoh Khufu. Now, we know this because, obviously, we have been in that area, but this new area is completely something that no human being might have ever been in, and we don't know even what it's for in the structure. But to kind of give you a little bit more of a back idea on the inner workings of the Great Pyramid itself, I have a really cool video cut together from a 60 Minutes interview that they did right from the Great Pyramid in Giza.
British archaeologist John Romer first saw the Great Pyramid 40 years ago. Ever since, like so many others, he's been trying to figure out how it was built.
You know, there's an old Arab saying, man fears time, but time fears the pyramids. It's the oldest thing in the world. It just stands there.
It's called Mahmoud's Hole. You go in, and the stonework is just as well laid in here as it is outside.
It's here, inside the Great Pyramid, where the accuracy counts, in its steep, confined corridors.
This is the world's most accurate rock-cut tunnel.
These tunnels are so narrow because they weren't built for access, but as control lines for the builders.
This is where the roots of the pyramid, this is where it all began.
We're now entering the biggest space in the pyramid, the Grand Gallery.
Look at that, huh? The Grand Gallery.
And it is grand, isn't it? And the majesty of its polished walls and vaulted ceiling takes your breath away.
Duck down.
One more short, cramped journey, and we're in the heart of the pyramid, in King Khufu's burial chamber.
So here we are. It's the burial chamber of the king.
The climax of the pyramid. And that's where he was buried, over there.
Of course, they never found him, did they?
No, and his name's not on the books. There's nothing. It's completely plain.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, and as you saw there, that was the tomb of Khufu. And we know next to nothing about Khufu, or Cheops, as he's sometimes referred to. The reason why is because a lot of the records from that time are gone, and we only have one 3-inch statue that has been found that depicts Khufu, and a lot of the hieroglyphics and other writings that we found are in fragments, and it's very hard to really discern what Khufu was, what he really did. But the construction of the Great Pyramid is credited to Khufu's reign, and that was 4,500 years ago, during the 4th dynasty of Egypt. He actually reigned from 2509 to 2483 BC. And the whole pyramid's base spreads across 13 acres, and it originally towered 479 feet. There are 2.3 million limestone blocks in this pyramid, which is incredible.
Whoa.
And again, we're not 100% sure exactly how it was made, other than a lot of manpower making this.
Yeah.
And the reason being
And
for all of the
aliens.
and aliens, and the reason being for all of the stuff inside, all the different chambers inside of the Great Pyramid is very interesting. Now, this void that we found is the first large inner structure discovered within the pyramid since the 1800s. And this find is made possible through recent advances in high-energy particle physics, the technique which has been used to peer through cathedral walls, Mayan pyramids, and even volcanoes. What it does is it relies on the natural drizzle of subatomic particles called muons, and this is one of the machines that they're actually prepping to make that happen. Now, these particles shower Earth all the time, these muons, and they're flung off when cosmic rays, high-energy particles racing through our galaxy, collide with Earth's upper atmosphere. Actually, if you happen to be watching this right now on your smartphone, 6 of these muons will have harmlessly passed through your screen to you by the time I'm finishing this sentence.
Hopefully harmlessly.
Oh, they are. It's just that kind of thing. And what's very interesting is this whole pyramid scan has taken a couple years, and it has not only found this void, but it's found some other things too. And the pyramid scan mission is very, very interesting. There's a ton of information out there about this thing.
So what's so special about this void, Jeff? Do we know what's in this pocket? Like, what's going on
Not
here?
yet. We just know that there's a pocket, and I actually do have another video that I'm going to give you guys that explains a little bit more of where this void is and what we know about it today. And what's interesting about that video that we just watched, at the end there, you saw another space near the opening of the pyramid, near the base, that was actually found last year in 2016, and it's another space that we don't actually know why it's there or what it's used for, and we don't know if there's a way into it or not.
Yeah.
One of the theories, which is interesting about this, is that these two spaces, especially the newest big void that we're finding right above the Grand Gallery, could have literally just been a way to get the blocks that they're creating the pyramid moving around and getting them out of there.
It might actually give us some insight on how the pyramids were built.
Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely. The seemingly empty region, this new big void, which they call the void, is at least 100 feet long, and researchers are very, very wary about even calling it a chamber because, again, it could just be a pocket in the construction of this, and maybe that's the way you construct a huge pyramid. We don't know.
Crazy.
But I'll tell you something on my side of it. What I'm really hoping for is when and if we find a way into it. They want to study this in the most non-intrusive way possible.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to wreck anything.
Yeah.
This thing is so old, and you don't want the pyramid to collapse by trying to get in there. But hopefully we do find a way in there, or at least a way in there with cameras, because like I said earlier, one of the biggest mysteries about the Great Pyramids is why they were built and who really built them. Was it Khufu? Another thing that you probably know about is the Sphinx.
Yep.
The Sphinx actually also is sometimes accredited to being built because Khufu commissioned it. But it could have also been Khufu's children who did that. And because the Sphinx face is worn and the nose is gone, we can't really attribute it to one specific pharaoh. It actually looks like Khufu, but it also looks like a couple of his children.
There's actually even I remember John Anthony West talking about this specifically, that it's believed that the Sphinx face might have been redone,
right?
Maybe a couple times,
right? Other pharaohs might have went in and been like, "This is me now."
Yeah. So the original face is not the same face that we're seeing today,
right?
Which is crazy.
So what would be cool in my mind is if we get into this new huge area in the Great Pyramid, and there's some sort of writing. Now, the boon would be walls filled with hieroglyphics depicting Khufu's reign and all that kind of stuff, that we would actually get that kind of information again. But even, and this isn't even that widely known, there are spaces above Khufu's burial chamber in the Great Pyramid that are not open to the public. Only very few archaeologists actually get to go up there, because you're basically shimmying through like airless, areas that you can basically get stuck through, basically, in the stone.
Thank you.
But when you get up there, some of these stones are inscribed by the builders themselves, either with prayers that they had to the pharaoh or their families, or just literally like Dustin was here, kind of scrawling on the thing. Yeah. And that would be really interesting, even if we got some sort of writing like that in this brand new area.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be able to analyze it for what it is, when it was marked, stuff like that. There's a lot of things we can find out here.
Yeah, so it's very, very exciting. This is brand new discovery at the end of this year, and obviously keep looking at this. Keep this in your Rolodex of science topics that you're interested in, if you really want to follow it, because more and more of the information about this will be rolled out within the next couple
And I'm
of
sure
years.
once we find out, we'll bring it right to you guys.
I'm sure we will, because I'm very interested about this kind of stuff.
All right.
What fuels you?
Okay, so this week on the podcast, we got to talk to an incredible artist and sculptor, Paul Harding, and one of our good friends, actually.
Yeah.
And we talk about his career, we talk about all the different projects he got into, and we obviously ask him the age-old question, what fuels you? And when we did, I was really interested in his response. He kind of talked about how inspiration is what fuels him, and that's a very general thing to say, but he talked about it in a very specific way, where you can kind of find inspiration in everyday life. And he was just looking around the room and being like, the tripod that the camera is sitting on, the stool that is off in the corner, these things are just everyday things, but somebody had to create that. Somebody had to think that up.
I mean, you see it, you look at it, you see the stool that you've seen every day, but you know what? That did not exist before somebody imagined it first, which is insane to think about. And anything that we create has to begin with our imagination, and our imagination is lit up by inspiration.
It's definitely true. And it was interesting hearing him say that, because it's something I never actually thought about. Maybe I had earlier in my life, and it's just kind of fell to the wayside. But like now, ever since he said that, it's been resonating in my brain to the point I wanted to bring it into What Fuels You this week, because I look at things like, that tripod, that stool, and now I'm like kind of like looking at it a little bit more intently and being like, so why'd they put it at that angle, that leg?
Well,
over
it
there?
it kind of begs the question, like, what are you not thinking about?
Right.
Like, we just kind of pass by things every day without even like deeply thinking about where they came from, why they were made, and how we can contribute in the future to make bigger, greater, more creative things.
Yeah.
And I think, there's a key word again, inspiration. We need to be inspired. And I think one thing that I've focused on in the past year or so is you got to seek out inspiration sometimes.
And that's
it's not
tough
always just going to come to you. You're not just going to like be sitting on the couch eating Cheetos watching Donahue being like, oh, Eureka!
Donahue.
I don't know. It was the first thing that popped up in
Wow.
my head. That's
You
a show,
always-
right?
you yell at me for making those old-timey references. Donahue.
My mom watched some really weird shit when I was a kid. So
But you're right, though. I mean, seeking out inspiration is something that is needed. It's ingrained in us, and it's very hard. You know what I mean? I'm sure everyone has always heard about writer's block, or creative block.
But I don't think it's that hard. I mean, you just gotta take the extra steps. You gotta go to a museum and look at art. Look at that art. Come face it. It's different than when you're looking at it on a computer screen or your phone. When you're looking face to face with like some of this art that has been created that you've seen 1,000 times in textbooks, when you're actually like looking at it, I don't know, there's a fire inside me that tends to light up when I'm looking at this stuff, or when I'm looking at like ancient Roman sculptures, to think that this thing in front of me was actually the thing created by somebody who has been dead for thousands of years, and to think about like what he was thinking about when he made that sculpture. It really just leads you down a rabbit hole of inspiration. And it's not always a museum. Sometimes, go to a zoo.
Yeah.
Check out see the way the animals move. Maybe like something will pop up in your brain that was locked up.
Yeah.
Or go to a rock concert.
Yeah.
I know time and time again I'm going out to these concerts and I'm like, there's something I'm not thinking about. There's something I could be doing better.
Right.
And it just lights it up inside of me, and I find inspiration every day. But sometimes you have to seek it out.
And I think, you touched upon something I didn't think about with like museums. I think inspiration isn't just being inspired by the art around you. It's about being able to be, immersed in something, especially artistic or creative, that you can see firsthand. I didn't think about it until you brought that up, but going to a museum, I always think about that, because even like, say, going to a museum like the Museum of Natural History or something like that, and being able to see ancient tools or weaponry of ancient peoples. You can see the carve marks or the hammer marks on the steel, or like you were saying, if you were to see like some of like these masterful pieces of art that you've seen in textbooks forever, when you see it up close, you actually see the brushstroke that happened, and it's like, and then your brain starts to fire on all these cylinders, like why did that brushstroke happen, or that hammer hit that piece of metal like right there, like what was that, what, like, to create the thing in front of me. And it really brings everything full circle. And I've never left a museum or a rock concert or even like a garden, without feeling inspired after that.
Absolutely. And I always come back to, in my memory of, and I visited it a couple times, but in Chicago, the self-portrait of Van Gogh.
Yes.
And how many times have you seen that in a book or on the
million
internet?
times. It's been one of the most reprinted images there is out there.
But when you're standing in front of it and looking at how that paint sunk into that canvas, and like you said, each brush stroke, and looking at it and being like just feet away from it, thinking that is the exact thing that Van Gogh laid out, that has carved creativity for like forever afterwards. And it's really, I get the chills just thinking about it. like do that.
Yeah.
Go find those things.
Yeah.
Be inspired.
Yeah, and and inspiration comes differently for everybody. So just like you said, go and find it. Well, find what inspires you, and then devour it, and then inspiration will only breed more cool stuff in the world.
Yeah.
Community shout out.
Okay, this week, do you want to scream it? Community shout out. You want me to?
No, I think I got this.
All right.
You don't clear your throat. I clear my throat. You throw me off for clearing your throat all the time, Jeff.
Community shout out this week.
Quentin Mariano.
There it is. You want to go on over to Instagram and follow a really fun feed. Follow @TheaterWolf on Instagram. Quentin Mariano is fueled by Death Wish Coffee, because we see you posting about Death Wish Coffee all the time, but has an incredible cool job out there as a theater electrician. I think that's a lot of fun because those guys behind the scenes make those plays look incredible. You know,
you got to think the theater electrician is one of those people that makes or breaks a show.
Totally,
and you don't even realize it.
Totally,
you don't even realize they're doing their job, good or bad, until they fuck it up.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure Quentin has never ever fucked it up, and I'm just gonna go on record and say that. But we're giving a community shout out to Quentin Mariano this week because it's just a lot of fun. Right now, he's actually part of Andrew Lloyd Webber's brand new play, Love Never Dies, which is a sequel to The Phantom of the Opera, and he is running all the electronical stuff on that. That's got to be an incredible job. So mugs up to Quentin. This week we got to talk with Paul Harding about his brand new graphic novel, Beast of the Black Hand. And we are really, really excited about Beast of the Black Hand because of all the cool stuff that's going to happen. And we actually are going to run another contest this week. And this contest will enter you guys in a chance to win a huge prize pack from Beast of the Black Hand, which includes the book, a bunch of goodies, and some Death Wish coffee. And we'll explain all of it to you in this segment right here. Hey guys, we have an incredible contest opportunity for you, and we brought our good friend, sculptor Paul Harding, here to talk a little bit about it because this is actually your idea. You are not just a sculptor, you are an artist, and now you are a creator of a brand new graphic novel called Beasts of the Black Hand.
Beasts of the Black Hand begins with the assassination of the Mad Monk Rasputin by MI6 agent Oswald Rayner, an actual historical figure and the hero of our story. Rasputin's death sets into motion a chain of events that leads to the Versailles Peace Conference of 1919. But the Europe of Beasts of the Black Hand is different from the one we know. A Europe threatened by supernatural forces, with rumors of fearsome monsters rampaging in the east. Now, Oswald Rayner faces Rasputin's daughter, Maria, with the soul of Europe at stake. Acclaimed illustrator Matthew Dow Smith, who just finished a seminal run on the X-Files comic series, is our artist. Ron Mars has been a writer in the comics industry for more than 2 decades, with storied runs on Green Lantern, Silver Surfer, Witchblade, and many others.
So we're going to give away an incredible prize pack with this. Now, can you talk a little bit about what we're going to have in here?
Yeah, we have, through the Kickstarter, we have a special subscription box, but we want to offer that to you as well. So it's a box that comes with the graphic novel. It's a 64-page graphic novel with a specialty die-cut metallic bookmark.
Oh, so cool.
A sweet T-shirt.
Nice.
And a load of other stuff, and some stuff from Death Wish as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're going to throw in a pound of coffee. We're going to throw in a 2017 mug, some stickers, and some other goodies for you guys. So this is a prize pack from Ominous Press and Death Wish Coffee that you guys aren't going to want to miss. And it's very, very easy to enter this. All you guys got to do is email info@beastsofthebblackhand, which I'll put up on the screen right here, and then you're entered to win. But you want more entries to win? It's this easy. Like, comment, and share on Beasts of the Black Hand on social media. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, and they're on Instagram. And make sure you use the hashtag DeathWishBlackHand. And it's that easy. I mean, D-Man, do you want to even enter this? Are you going to enter this?
Can I just have it?
Can I have it?
It's
of course
very cool. It's very cool. And you mentioned something about the evil villain being Rasputin's daughter.
Right.
Which is insane. Did Rasputin's daughter actually exist?
Well, it's a little known fact that the shot that finally killed Rasputin was delivered by a man named Oswald Rayner. He was a British MI6 agent. People don't know that.
And this is the main character of your story, correct?
So in the beginning, that's what goes down, and Maria Rasputin wants revenge.
Whoa.
Yeah, a little vengeance in there always makes it good.
Yeah.
And there's monsters. Monsters are the best. You guys cannot be more excited about this. Go on over. You can check out Beast of the Black Hand from Ominous Press, right from Ominous Press, also from their Kickstarter. But remember, email info@beastoftheblack-hand for your chance to win this box of goodies of the graphic novel and Death Wish coffee. And then make sure you like, comment, and share all of their social media. Use that hashtag Death Wish Black Hand, and we're going to have one lucky winner next week to get this incredible prize pack.
And in the meantime, everybody should be checking out the Kickstarter, seeing what they can get for their hard-earned cash, because I'm sure there's some awesome packages set up for this.
Cool. There are. And this special sweepstakes will be shipped after the graphic novel gets printed.
Right. And when will that be?
And that will be the beginning of 2018.
All right. So it's right around the corner. Yeah. So all this week, make sure you keep entering all those chances to win, and one lucky winner is going to walk away with an incredible prize pack.
Welcome back to the show.
So this week, D-Man, we got some very happy birthdays to dole out. First of all, Thursday, November 9th, a very happy birthday to Lou Ferrigno. He's going to be 66. For those of you who don't know, I have his alter ego right here. He was the Incredible Hulk way back in the day. Actually the first iteration of the Incredible Hulk. He is the Hulk.
Oh, he's too heavy.
Oh, there he is. That's not really him. But I mean, he was the television show Hulk forever and ever and ever. And
wasn't this Hulk?
He wasn't this Hulk. This is straight from the comic books.
Hulky?
No. But
this thing's like 40 pounds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But happy birthday to Lou on Thursday. On Friday, November 10th, a wrestler near and dear to the hearts of Death Wish Coffee is Ryback. Sometimes called the Big Guy. He used to wrestle in WWE. Now he wrestles all over the world as an independent wrestler.
I like his onesie.
Yeah, he's pretty crazy. He's going to be 36 years old on Friday. On Sunday, November 12th, the very, very funny Megan Mullally is going to be 59 years old. If you don't know who she is, she was on a little show called Will and Grace, which is back in a full swing right now. She is also married to Nick Offerman.
Oh.
And they both tour with a live show being hilarious to each other, and it's really, really funny.
I believe you.
On Monday, November 13th, happy birthday to Fat Tony himself, Joe Mantegna, also better known for his huge run on the show Criminal Minds, and also as his role in The Godfather 3, among 1,000 other things.
He's very Italian. There's no doubt about that.
And finally, Wednesday, November 15th, turning 90 years old is Ed Asner. Obviously famous for his stint on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, but also he was the voice of the main character in the movie Up. The old guy.
Oh, that makes sense.
He's been the voice.
He kind of looks like him.
Yeah, Ed Asner has actually voiced a lot of stuff in animation, done movies, television. He has had an incredible career for a 90-year-old, for sure. So happy birthday to all of them.
I smell a roast.
Okay. So it's roast time, and if you guys don't know, we've been bringing this one back because now that we are doing this whole show version, we feel the need that we can roast. We can throw it out there a little bit and roast some stuff that's just pissing us off lately. This one's to me. Usually I bring stuff up that I want to piss Dustin off, and I'm sure this will piss him off too. But this one's to me. What's been pissing me off lately? Flat earthers.
Wait, is it pissing you off that the Earth is flat?
No, it's pissing me off that it's 2017 and we're still having this discussion to the point where we're having this discussion in our schools now, and that's what's really pissing me off.
I hate that we're even discussing it. When it was first brought up, it was like, it's just a couple of dumb people. It'll fade. Really, it has not faded. I need it to go away because I think this is a result of people not being chased by tigers. We're all bored as a society and are trying to find new adventures. This is not one of them that you want to pursue. Trust me.
No. And here's the thing. I understand the allure of conspiracy theories. The idea that you are in the minority and that you believe something that isn't widely believed and then you're going to champion that, that's very alluring. I get that. I understand it. And I'm not knocking your belief. If you want to believe this, that's fine. But one of the things that really bothers me is the people that are starting to really just spout this out that have a lot of influence in the world.
No, Jeff, I'm going to take it one step further than you. I think it starts with those people that don't have any influence, that start talking about it. Then it leads to the people of influence. So if you are one of the people believing harmlessly, I don't think it's harmless at all. I think you're just making the world dumber with your thoughts.
I agree. I can agree with that.
Every person who thinks flat Earth is real has knocked the Earth one notch lower in the intelligence level.
Yes.
It's flabbergasting, it's annoying, and it's sad.
And to set it up a little bit, we have a nice video.
I love the ice wall. I love this freaking ice wall.
Yeah,
it's a giant wall of ice. Like you run out of explanation, so you just fall back on some crazy 8-year-old thought pattern. It's just freaking ridiculous.
It's the roast, people. I have this great video from our friends over at Live Science, though, that'll explain a little bit about the difference of flat Earth and round Earth.
How do we know that the Earth is round? One of the most famous images of Earth is called the blue marble. It was snapped in 1972 from a distance of about 18,000 miles by the crew of the Apollo 17 spacecraft, and it shows our planet as a water and cloud-covered sphere against the black backdrop of space. However, there are people who claim that this image is part of a vast conspiracy to trick people into believing that Earth is round, when in reality, they say, it's as flat as a pancake. Members of a group known as the Flat Earth Society point to the visible horizon and say that since they can't see the curve of the globe, that the planet must be a flattened disk. How do we know that it's not? Well, no one has ever documented this so-called edge of the Earth, which flat earthers say is ringed with a giant wall of ice. And scientists have been explaining how we know the Earth is round since the 3rd century BC. Earth is so big that from a person's vantage point on the ground, its curvature is simply impossible to see. But the ancient Greeks were able to see Earth's curve by looking at the sun's position and comparing shadows that it cast in different places at the same time of day. The laws of gravity also explain how a spherical planet would form, with its mass attracting matter in space and building a shape outward from a central core. And on a spherical planet, gravity's pull from the center is what keeps our feet on the ground. Not to mention that in the 16th century, Ferdinand Magellan sailed completely around the world, which would have been impossible on a flat Earth surrounded by an icy wall. Earth isn't a perfect sphere, more like an irregularly shaped ellipsoid, according to the National Ocean Service. But for those arguing that it's pancake-shaped, that idea falls a little flat. The shape of the Earth, just one of life's little mysteries.
Right there, they talk about what you were just getting mad about is that, the side of the Earth is all around this circle is a 150-foot ice wall. That's what they believe. And then in the center is the Arctic Circle surrounded by Antarctica. And not only do they believe that, but the Flat Earth Society also subscribes to the idea that both the sun and moon are both round, but they're a lot smaller than NASA would have you believe, and they're a lot closer to the Earth and kind of go around like a spotlight, which then leads to the question of, well, how do you explain a lunar eclipse? And the reason that they explain a lunar eclipse is that there is an anti-moon that is also in our solar system that has never been photographed, and that is what kind of goes in front of the moon when we see that. And all of the photos that we have ever seen from space of the globe are photoshopped by NASA, and NASA also paroles the 150-foot ice wall that goes around the flat Earth to make sure that nobody gets to it and sees it.
Dude, these thoughts and this theory is so shitty it gives me pink eye.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that people actually believe this. It really hurts to hear the explanations, and then usually when you come up with an intelligent argument, the first thing that pisses me off about this is that we have to argue about it at all. It still just drives me nuts. But anytime you come up with an intelligent counter, like, okay, dude, all right, the flat Earth, that's great, but it's round because of this, and they're like, no, NASA's teamed up to make us believe that because of some crazy conspiracy. You're an 8-year-old. You think like an 8-year-old. Congratulations. Stop. Move on. Use your head.
One of the biggest proponents for this conspiracy is that the conspiracy to fake this would be way cheaper than to actually go out into outer space, photograph this, and do all this kind of stuff. Now, again, there is a thing called Zytic astronomy, and that is the perception that the Earth is flat. And what it also deals with is it deals with the idea that because we perceive it, then it must be true. So that's why most people that subscribe to the Flat Earth Society stand on a beach, like you just saw, look off into the horizon, do not see the curve of the Earth, and say, oh, I don't see the curve of the Earth, so therefore the Earth is not round, because this is the what I am being presented with. The NASA conspiracy, the anti-moon, all of that stuff is just
I can't believe the anti-moon. Well, what gets in the way of it's an anti-moon.
Right.
I figured it out. It's an anti-moon. Dude, show me one picture of this freaking anti-moon.
That's the thing. On a recent, and speaking of podcasts that we love, on a recent episode of the Joe Rogan podcast, actually, he had on famed astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about the flat Earth conspiracy, but conspiracies at large, and he said he deals with these people in the same way, and this is the way that anybody should, is that you believe what you believe, and that's fine. But if you can show me the best piece of empirical evidence that backs up your claim, and then please tell me what it would take for me to convince you otherwise. And the example that he gave was for the conspiracy, another well-known conspiracy, the conspiracy of the moon landing. And I'm not going to get into that because it's a whole other rabbit hole. But he talked to somebody who was very much in the camp of that we faked the moon landing. So he asked this man, what would it take to prove to you that we actually did it? And he said, photos of the landing sites and the rover tracks that aren't faked. And so he showed him the photos that came back from the Chinese satellite that was sent up almost 5-6 years ago now that photographed all the sites, that it orbited the moon and photographed all the sites.
Fake pictures, dude. They made up those pictures.
That's exactly.
Computer generated. That's always the fallback to good evidence.
That's what he said.
The computer generated.
Yeah.
No way, dude. You're wrong.
Yes.
You're wrong on this one.
And I just don't understand. If you don't want to be part of the conversation, then you're just arguing for the sake of arguing. You know, like if you can't be swayed one way or the other, that's what bothers me. We live in a world now where Flat Earth Society is gaining a lot of traction, and people with a lot of clout are able to really talk about this to where I'm seeing it pop up in my news feed on the regular, and it was something I wanted to bring up on the roast. As recently as last year, a famous rapper that goes by the name B.O.B. Started talking about how he believes that the Earth is flat. He wrote a song about it and actually called Neil deGrasse Tyson out in the song. Conversely to that, this year, B.O.B. started a GoFundMe account to raise $200,000 so he could put his own satellites into space and get his own photos.
You know what? I hope that gets funded so
Me
all
too.
the dumb people can lose their money.
Me too.
That's ridiculous.
But I also hope it gets funded because maybe it'll prove to them once and for all that they're wrong because the Earth is round. Now, regardless of all that, I want to leave this on a more fun note and not just get everybody's blood.
Before we get into this, I have 2 points to make.
Okay.
If you believe this, I'm not calling you stupid.
Right. Again, your beliefs are your beliefs. You can believe whatever you want in this
this
world.
is a big pitfall for intelligent people to convince themselves of stupid things.
Yes.
And that's a problem with being intelligent. You can figure out ways to describe and explain things that don't make sense.
Right.
If you're failing to that, please reconsider right now and just actually break down your intentions to your beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Why do you believe this? Why are you believing this? What makes you feel better Does it make you feel better that the Earth is flat and that everybody's lying to you? Does that make you feel better?
And the second thing I want to bring up is that there's been a couple times where I've had this conversation like, oh, can you believe the flat earthers? And one of my friends or, somebody that I'm talking to that I believe is intelligent will go, well, did you hear about that? And it's like, no. Let's please stop talking about it. I don't want to have a lesser opinion of you.
This is kind of what I was getting at the beginning of this is what bothers me about something like Flat Earth Society and Flat Earth ideal out there now is we live in a world where everything is highly digestible. If you don't believe me, go on over to YouTube and type in Flat Earth. You can go down a rabbit hole where if you start watching a lot of these videos, even myself, now I don't subscribe to this, I don't believe this, but after watching like 3 or 4 of these videos in a row, your brain starts to trick yourself and you start to go,
weird.
Wait a minute, some of this might make sense because these dots move to these dots, and it doesn't, but we live in a world now where information can be harmful. Okay, so enough of this. Let's get into some Death Wish.
Yeah, hold on, shake it off.
Yeah.
Okay, D-Man Death Wish update time. Here we go.
D-Man's Death Wish Update. Brought to you by Death Wish Coffee.
All right. So this week, D-Man, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we got quite a few things, even something that you did not list here that I have added onto my own list.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm going to start with that. I just talked to Heather from Bittersweet.
Okay.
And we have some more chocolate on the way. We will see it next week at some point.
So when you say more chocolate, do you mean more of the chocolate we just released?
No more pumpkin chocolate.
Oh.
We're getting something really good. It is a pretzel bark.
Ooh.
And let me tell you, it is
I remember getting a chance to try this. Yes. Yeah, it is really good.
It's one of those things that
sweet and salty.
Heather comes by quite often to talk about, plans for upcoming releases and whatnot. And sometimes she'll bring samples of like things that we could do. Uh-huh. And whenever she brought by the pretzel bark, it was devoured.
Yeah, I remember we all ate the crud out of that.
Even gluten-free me can't help but to dip into that chocolate pretzel bark, man. It is so good. So that's coming.
Awesome.
That's coming
awesome.
As possibly as soon as next week.
Ooh, so get ready for that.
Yeah.
Something's coming like tomorrow, though. On Thursday.
Dude, the hoodies. And if you missed us actually talking about this recently, I will put that video right back up of you wonderfully wearing that hoodie. But we're excited about this. This is our new hoodie for this year, and it's a pullover. I think I missed a calling on my modeling days. I think you did, I'm getting a bit too old for that now. I'll try to work that in as much as I can. All right, good. We need a catwalk in here. But yeah, we're really excited about the hoodie. That's coming out on Thursday. What do we got for sizes? Do you know? Yeah, we got anywhere from extra small to 5X. There we go. So, like, the whole spectrum. Excellent. Yeah. Made in the USA. Great material. And sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to get a hold of the larger sizes. That's why you'll see them sell out. So, if you're looking to get a larger size, don't wait. Get it on Thursday. For sure. And let's see. What else is coming up? What else? Oh, we talked about this. And I got them right here. What do you got? What do you got, Jeff? Oh, yeah, there they are. Oh, there they are. Yeah. Espresso. Next week. Espresso pods. That's coming. That looks like fun. Don't hit the camera with the full box. Yeah, no, it is fun. And they're really good. In fact, that's exactly what I was drinking. Cheers. Well, mine's gone, but yeah, that's what I was drinking on this show was our brand new espresso pods. And I'll tell you what, the not only does the flavor profile of the world's strongest coffee come out in these Nespresso capsules, but they get you zooted like the world's strongest coffee should. Yeah, and what's great about it is that this is something that is going to live forever now. We're going to have this. We've constantly said that we are the world's strongest coffee, but we are also the coffee that we want you to have the way you want it. So I mean, we've got whole bean, we got ground, we got K-cups, and now we're going to have this because this is something that's actually becoming a big thing. Lots of people are really starting to go out and get these espresso makers. The Nespresso thing is a very big thing in Europe, and it's starting to hit the States, and we just want to be on the forefront of that. I'll tell you what, if you compare K-Cups to Nespresso pods.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the Nespresso pod is 10 times better,
Yeah.
at least. And not only because it makes a stronger, better tasting coffee, but because it makes less waste. It's easier to use. I like the machines better. I mean, it's just every single side of the argument, K-Cup versus Nespresso pod, the espresso pods are the best, period.
I super, super agree.
Yeah. If you don't have a machine, get one because these are coming and you're going to love it.
Speaking of coming out, this is something that everybody keeps asking.
Can I push this off the table and test how strong it is?
No. But there it is.
Want to?
But there it is. It's our branded Chemex. Talk about wanting to make ways that you love to brew. That's what we did. And this is the first time the company Chemex has ever done a co-branded product with a coffee company.
Yeah, we made some great relations with these guys. We went and checked out their facility and buttered them up with some delicious coffee. And they actually, I think they said we were the best coffee for the Chemex or something like that. Because our coffee really does well with this brewer. And so
the bloom is incredible.
Yeah,
you do it right, and
And if there's any bitter profiles, it is just completely released off the top of this brewer.
Yep.
It does such a great job. So that is why we teamed up with Chemex to come out with this one-of-a-kind custom Chemex.
And if you've ever seen us at any of the events that we do, we constantly roll deep with these. Not the branded ones until right now. Now we will. But we always have Chemexes on hand because we really believe that it is the best way to brew coffee. Especially now, again, for your morning coffee, it might not be the best thing. I know. I wish I could do it every morning, but
actually, I just bought a gooseneck kettle so I can start using it every morning.
It is a process, though, and some people like myself, it's like you want to get up, get that cup of coffee, and get out the door, and I understand that. But I mean, when on those days, like on the weekends, maybe when you got some extra time in the morning, this is the way to go.
No, see, this is what I do because it takes a little bit of time. I set everything up. I put a little bit of water over it. I get some shit together for my day. And then I come back over. I pour a little water over it. I get some more shit together. So I kind of do it in the interim of me getting ready in the morning. I find that's the best way to deal with your Chemex.
All right.
It's just personal.
All right. I believe it. So that's coming out in the next few weeks. I know everybody's been asking for it for a very long time, and it's coming.
Yeah,
so,
it's right around the corner.
So get ready for that. Finally, just talking about coming soon products, this is something that we've been talking about.
Can I put that on? Can I wear the thing?
Oh, I almost forgot about that. Do we want to talk about that before I get into it? Okay, fine.
We don't even have to talk about it. I'll just wear it.
All right, fine. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to start doing a blog every week about products that are coming soon. And we won't maybe not update it every single week. We'll update it every now and again. But these are going to be products that are on the horizon, and it'll be an extra way for you guys to keep informed. So you're going to want to keep listening to the update on the podcast. You're going to want to keep subscribing to the newsletter, following us on various social media, and now there'll be a blog where it'll be your home base right on deathwishcoffee.com, and I'll put that URL up right here that'll let you know where everything will be and what's going to be coming out. And one of those things is this thing that I almost actually forgot to even talk about because this might get us fired. We're not really supposed to show this yet. It's brand new. If you can't tell, it is a blanket. It is a poly blend hypoallergenic blanket.
Oh, it's so cozy.
Super cozy and comfortable. I think I might actually even have another video of a different employee being wrapped up in this. But we're really excited about this product, something we've been wanting to do for a while. One of those random merch ideas that we throw up on the board in the beginning of the year, like maybe we'll do this, and it actually, came to fruition. No release date as of yet, but I can definitely say without a doubt it will be before the end of the year. So you'll definitely be able to get your hands on something like this, and it's really cool. I mean, who doesn't want to be all cozy and cuddly underneath a nice black Death Wish blanket, right?
I am extra cozy. Can you imagine a nice warm cup of coffee under this thing in the winter? Sitting out on your swing on your porch and sipping your coffee and snuggling up in your blanket. It's gonna be great, man.
I'm excited for it. I think you guys should be excited for it too. Let's put a pin in that though. Every single week, like I said, tune into the D-Man update, and there'll be more news. And now you can go to the blog and even follow that as well.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. This was very magical.
As always, and we love doing the show for you guys. It's been a lot of fun kind of developing this out, doing some more fun things for you guys. Make sure, one last time, share this feed, comment, share in the comments. We're going to pick one of those winners in just a few minutes here. You're going to get this signed mug, our Death Wish St. Patrick's Day mug from this year. We're going to, D-Man and myself will sign it, send it right out to you guys. We try to do contests every week. Like we said earlier, make sure you join up for that Beast of the Black Hand contest. That's going to be really fun.
That's going to be awesome.
We're going to constantly try to do some really cool stuff for you guys every single week. And we have some really cool stuff coming up, too. I know something that you've been excited to talk about.
What is that?
Next week, we have a very special episode with some of the members of the band Flogging Molly.
Dude, that was so cool. So they came to the warehouse. We hung out, and they were like, hell yeah, we'll be on your podcast. So
yeah.
we snagged 2 of them, dragged them in here, and we got some great conversation out of them. So make sure you tune in next week for that awesome release. We have tons of other awesome guests coming, but
we got a bunch of awesome guests to finish out the year. Plus, we're going to be doing an end of the year show. We're going to be doing some special stuff in December. You guys we love you for watching and listening.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Please like, comment, and share, all that kind of stuff. Tomorrow on Thursday, episode 49, the podcast will come out. That will feature the guest Paul Harding talking about his career and the Beast of the Black Hand. Plus, video of this will be on YouTube as well as the video interview with Paul. Next week will be Flogging Molly. And next week, the show, once again, will be live on Wednesday, and we'll see you guys then.
Cheers!
This has been Fueled by Deathcast, a Death Wish Coffee Company podcast production. Thanks for listening.